Hello everyone, this is Enzo Universe. This is the second sharing of this Chinese calligraphy handwriting series. We are going to talk about some practices to help improving your pen controlling ability. In this video, first I will introduce 4 purposes of the practices and explain why we need these practices. Second, there will be 4 types of practices. I will lead you practicing and remind you some key skills of them. First, let me be clear about the purpose of the following practices. There are 4 main purposes of the following practices. 1 is helping you find the right sense of writing, to feel the relaxing, flexible, easy feelings of holding and controlling your pen. 2, helping you find some problems of your way of holding a pen. 3, helping you adjust or change some habit of holding a pen that you want to change. 4, warm up or stretch your hand and fingers before writing. Remember, these practices are not direct strokes practice. They are finger functional practices, helping you improve basic ability to control a pen. There are some arguments on the following practices. Some will argue that these practices are useless because you will never use them in real writing, or they are not effective. Here are my opinions. There are a lot of warm-up or stretch exercise when learning sports or instruments. Many players are practicing some exercise that they will never use directly in real games or performance, but they still insist these basic exercises because these are body functional exercises which are really helpful, such as physical strength, coordination, flexibility, etc. So do the following exercises. Writing is a kind of a movement. It is reasonable to do some functional exercise. Second, when you practice, what you focus on really matters. If you mainly focus on drawing those shapes, accomplishing the exercise as soon as possible, but ignore the feeling of movements, these exercises are surely not effective. Remember the 4 purposes of the practices. So you should mostly focus on the relaxed condition of your fingers, hand, palm, wrist, and arm. Focus on how your fingers and wrist cooperate with each other, and then adjust the way of holding and controlling a pen according to your feelings and the shape of what you draw. In this way, these exercises are really useful. Third, someone suggests practicing the ability of controlling a pen should start from strokes writing exercise. Well, I think writing beautiful strokes is very hard. In the whole Chinese calligraphy learning process, writing delicate strokes is not the first priority. When I learned writing strokes, I need to focus on a lot of details of the strokes. For starters, they have to focus on both details of the strokes and the feeling of movements. While our attention is limited, it will be harder for starters to learn from strokes. So my suggestion is find some basic practices that can help us focus on the hand functional exercise. Our attention mostly put on the performance and the feelings of hand and fingers. There are no other requirements to distribute our attention. After we're familiar with pen controlling, we can practice with strokes. Anyway, you decide what kind of exercise to start with. I just share some basic functional exercise. The detailed skills of writing strokes will be shared in the future videos. Next, grab a pen and a paper that you usually use. Fountain pen, ball pen, pencil are all fine. It will be better that there are straight lines on your paper for reference. You could follow my instructions to do and understand those practices. After you understand the key skills of these exercises, you can practice on your own without this video. And I think I will post another pure exercise leading video that practice with you without any explanation. So you can watch that video every time you practice if you want. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, or share with friends. Your supportive are the great motivation for me to finish this Chinese calligraphy sharing series. Okay, let's get ready. Check the 7 yes plus 3 no plus 11 o'clock plus paper plus relax. These key points we talked about in the last video. Relax our fingers, hand, wrist, arm, shoulder, body. Sit still and straight. Put your hand and the pen on the paper naturally. Adjust the paper position. In this state, take the point our pen nib locating as the center point. Let's draw a circle here. Around the center point, let's draw 8 points in 8 directions. 2 horizontal, 2 vertical, 4 diagonal directions. The distance from each point to the center point is almost equal. Our supporting system keeps steady, and just use our holding system to move the pen to touch these points, following my order. Horizontal, middle finger move the pen to the left point, and relax middle finger. Feel only thumb pushing the pen, move from left point to the right point through the center point. Other fingers are relaxed, and your supporting system is steady. So when you relax thumb and hand, the pen will go back to the center point naturally. The movements are stable, steady, don't in a hurry and a mess. Let's do this again. The pen start middle finger with relaxed condition, and the middle finger move the pen to the left point, touch it, and then relax middle finger. Feel only thumb pushing the pen, move from the left point to the right point through the center point, touch the right point. Why we need to start from the center point and move to the left point till right point, but not start from the left point to the right point. The main reason is we are using the most our hand flexibility to write a long horizontal line. If our hand relax and start from the left point, our pen normally will shake when we move to the right point, especially when our middle finger touch the ring finger. Our pen may not reach the right point. This is a really important habit when writing real strokes. You will know in the future. The following exercise almost share the same reason. Now let's do the vertical exercise. The requirements are the same as the horizontal. Relax and our pen point to the center point. The movements are middle finger move the pen from center point to the upper point. Then relax middle finger. Feel only index finger pushing the pen from the upper point to the lower point through the center point. Other fingers are relaxed and your supporting system is steady. So when you relax your index finger, your pen should go back to the center point naturally. Diagonals, the requirements are the same. Middle finger move the pen from center point to upper left point. Relax middle finger. Feel index finger and the thumb cooperate together, pushing the pen from the upper left to the bottom left through center point. Other fingers are relaxed and your supporting system is steady. So relax, back to the center point naturally. And in the other direction, thumb move the pen from center point to the upper right point, and then thumb relax. Feel the index finger and the middle finger cooperate together, pushing the pen from the upper right down to the bottom left through the center point. Other fingers are relaxed and your supporting system is steady. If your wrist take part in unconsciously, never mind, just relax and let it be. So relax your fingers back to the center point. You can practice several times. Remember, around 80% of your mind focus on the feeling of your hand, fingers, and movements. Maybe 20% on the points. Check the holding pen checklist if you decide to adjust your way of holding a pen. And you may find problems in your practice, such as you can stretch your finger out to the left point, but you can't get the right point. Can't get it, even though it is at the same distance from the center point. You need to ask yourself why this is happening. Does the paper or middle finger stops you? Is it because you put your pen too high on the middle finger that the paper stops the middle finger from moving to the right? Or is it because your palm is lying down or supporting fingers stretch out too much that stops your middle finger? Just like this. When you find something wrong or you can't achieve the requirements, ask yourself why and analyze the possible reasons. Feel, try, and solve the problems. If you don't solve the problems, your practice is repeating wrong. When you keep repeating wrong, your practice are useless. The next exercise is lines. The process is almost the same with point-to-point practices. We just need to write these lines. The lines should be straight, not shaking, not turning, not waving. You can refer to the straight line on the paper. If your paper is like this, it can be referred as horizontal lines, and turn the paper. It will be the vertical lines. Okay, let's start from the center point. And move to the left. Thumb push the pen for horizontal lines. Just in this exercise, we feel the thumb pushing the pen to draw a straight, steady, horizontal line. Move our fingers to left side, start to write to the right side. Do this again, just beneath or above the former line. We'll try our best to keep all horizontal lines stay steady. They are not shaking and remain at equal intervals and are parallel to each other. At first, your lines may be shaking or turning, so the intervals are big. It's all fine. By insisting practice, your pen controlling ability will improve. The lines get more steady. You can narrow the intervals between lines. So does the following exercise. Around 10 lines are one group. When you finish one group, start another one. So move your paper to a suitable position and start another group. So vertical, the process are almost the same with the point-to-point practices. Start from the center point. Move our fingers to the top. Index finger push the pen for vertical lines. Other fingers just follow the pushing of index finger. They are relaxed and stable. We also try our best to keep all the vertical lines stay steady, not shaking, and remain at equal intervals and are parallel to each other. And try narrow the intervals when your lines get more steady. You can refer to the straight lines on the paper. Also, around 10 lines are one group. When you finish one group, start another one. Move your paper to a suitable position. Start from the center point and write vertical lines. The diagonal lines also share the same. The diagonals are approximately at 45-degree angle. All the lines stay steady, not shaking, and remain at equal intervals and are parallel to each other. And try narrow the intervals when your lines get more steady. When you're familiar with the above movements, you can also get your wrist involved by increasing the range of movements. Like point-to-point and line exercise, use both fingers and wrist. Remember the second assumption I brought up. Large joints and major muscles handle big movements, while small joints and smaller muscles control precise, detailed actions. Our wrists help controlling the range of our pen. The fingers still control the directions and steady. The feeling of wrist is something like using a mouth or say hi and waving to your friend. Or imagine your hand is a compasses. The bony bump on the base of your wrist is the pivot point of a compasses. Your pen is drawing legs. Just turn a little bit. Don't move your forearm. Mostly horizontal directions, and the left slant will use wrist. You can do point-to-point and line practices in horizontal and left slant directions with wrist participating. Next exercise are some shapes. First is a round maze. There are two directions. One is clockwise and the other is counterclockwise. The aim of this action is familiar with the change and the connection of your wrist and fingers. You need to keep the lines steady, not shaking. These exercises also lay the foundation for your future strokes practice, like different angles of 平撇、短撇、长撇、竖撇、捺、平捺、弯钩, and so on. We will learn these strokes one by one in details in the future. If you hard to draw a round circle, but you can draw an oval, it is probably your hand is lying down, or your pen falling to the thumb web, or if you can't write a circle large enough, maybe it is because your fingers are hugged They are all talked about in the last video. The next exercise is square mates. The aim of this exercise is familiar with the connection and the changing between vertical and horizontal movements. You need to keep those lines steady, straight, not shaking. The next exercise is drawing springs. The main aim of this exercise is train the fingers in the lateral flexibility. There are two directions, like this. You need to control your pen in above exercise. Don't let your pen like a wild horse that runs out of control. It doesn't matter if the lines are shaking or not round. Just slow down, keep your hand and fingers relaxed. Control your pen to draw these shapes. The fourth type of exercise is radiation. The aim of these exercises are mainly trains the ability to control your pen to write variety directions. You need to control the strength all the time and don't throw your pen out. Here is center point, and from outside to inside, outside to inside. Or the other way. Or combine them together. The pro exercises are adding some strength controlling. From heavy to light into center. From heavy to light into center. Heavy to light, heavy to light, heavy to light, heavy to light. Control the strength all the time. Don't throw your pen out. Don't throw it out. Nah. Or from heavy to light from center. Or from heavy to light and light to heavy through center. Alright, that's all of this video. These are the basic pen controlling exercise. After we learn some strokes, I will show you some hard strokes exercise. In the next video, I will share some experience on stationery I suggest to use. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, or sharing. Your supportive are the great motivation for me to finish this sharing series. Thank you. See you around.